Is a 50-year mortgage a good idea?
I can understand why on the surface the idea could be attractive because you're taking a debt and stretching it out over a longer period of time, making it a more affordable on a monthly basis. How much interest am I actually going to pay over a 50-year period? You'll be slower to gain equity in the property because you're paying so much interest on the front end of the mortgage. So a lower payment doesn't always necessarily mean lower overall cost. And even with a 30-year mortgage, I mean, I typically before closing try to tell the buyer, hey, if you can even just pay a little bit more a month, you're going to pay this thing off in a shorter period of time and save X amount of dollars just by making that one little adjustment.
Do I talk to the realtor first or do I talk to the lender first?
So honestly, I think the answer is neither. The starting point is at your own desk, looking at your own financials and deciding how much house can I afford. I really encourage people to do an audit of your personal finances. What I can qualify you for and what budget fits your lifestyle may be two totally different numbers. Start with yourself, set your own budget, study the way you spend your money and where your lifestyle leads you, and then your lender can help you work backwards into those numbers and make everything flow well. And then you get with your realtor.
I think that's a great idea is don't just go to a lender and say, what's the top I can afford? Go into your own budget and say,
Right.
here's my everyday expenses, monthly expenses, and then go from there. So being a realtor, I talk to a lot of people who've never bought a home before. So first time home buyers.
Right.
They might be like the first person in their family to buy a house. And so they might feel a little more pressure to
Right.
start looking. And I usually say, hey, go talk with a lender if they hadn't already talked to one
Mhm.
and see where you stand, right?
Right.
Usually that's kind of where the walls go up of, I don't want to do that. I'm scared.
Our terminology that we use is very intimidating. Um, and people feel like what is that they're standoffish to ask for more explanation of the term that I just used. While it's everyday language for me, it might be everyday language for the realtor. Sometimes they're scared to ask us to slow down and explain what does PMI mean or what does PITI mean, all these acronyms that we use. Asking questions should be normal, and your real estate professional and your lender should be the one standing in the gap and making you feel comfortable to ask questions. It's always okay to ask questions.
One of the things is they're sometimes scared that a lender is going to pass judgment of, oh, they're spending money on this. I can't
Right,
believe
right,
that.
right.
So, do lenders actually judge their applicants?
I do not feel like lenders should be scary. We should be the person who helps you make the adjustments to your profile, the adjustments to your scenario so that everything flows smoothly. I guess in an off roundabout way, we are kind of passing judgment, not in a personal way,
Mhm.
just in a way that helps us move forward in the process so that underwriting goes smoothly.
I have some first-time home buyers that are going, am I making a huge mistake by moving forward with this?
Right.
Are there any situations in which buying a home is a mistake?
I do feel like there are times that the buyer is not quite ready, even though I feel 100% in my soul that everyone deserves a safe place for themselves and their family and to grow a family. I do feel like sometimes not everyone is ready financially for homeownership. If you're going to move in a short period of time, renting actually sometimes helps us to show they're committed to being able to do things in a timely manner and make payments in a timely manner.
I do kind of agree. So let's assume that buying a house is the correct choice for a particular buyer. Maybe they have their down payment already saved. They have a 700 credit score and they've got good income. What loan type are you most likely to recommend to them?
I really feel like people are not cookie cutter, and neither should their loan options be cookie cutter. I'm always looking for what is the best loan for this buyer, not what's the easiest loan for me to process. I mean, not every scenario is the same. I feel like the majority of our borrowers are seeking a fixed rate mortgage. For the majority of buyers in their particular situation, a fixed rate mortgage feels the safest. It's you can anticipate what's going to happen in the next 30 years. But again, not every scenario fits into a little cookie cutter like sometimes mortgage wants it to do.
I always hear lenders telling the horror stories of people going out and buying cars and ruining their pre-approval. I've had a lot of deals just go wrong, but I have never had a client just go out and buy a car. Is that something that actually happens?
It totally actually happens. Early in my career, it was one of those pivotal moments that will scar you forever, where you pull up in the attorney's parking lot and you realize your buyer is getting out of a brand new Denali with the stickers still on the car. So yes, it does happen. And I quickly realized at a early in my career point that I have to drill it into the consumer's head that these are the things you do, things are the things you do not do, and you have to say it multiple times. So yes, there's a real reason that is a horror story because it's real.
Yeah. Okay. I had a client after we got the home under contract say, "Oh, by the way, I have, however many kids and I am paying child support." And it ended up being like $3,000 or $3,500 a month.
A lot.
Well, that ruined it.
Right. Yes. Communication is all about communication. I've also had people, maybe they're still working at the same place, doing the same thing, but their job, the way they're paid has changed. They go into a 1099 role where all of a sudden now they're self-employed. That is also a good horror story. So any changes to your picture, your credit, your debts, that's a communication point where you need to pick up the phone and call your lender. But yeah, those are the difficult moments that you have to have a good team, a good agent that's going to represent you with grace during those moments as well. So picking your team is pretty important.